everybody. I wanted to just go ahead and do a YouTube video on the last 6 weeks of my cycle and training for Rainier. Um, it was pretty unplanned, which was planned, actually. Um, can you stop clacking? Lay down. What's going on, everybody? I wanted to go ahead and just do a YouTube video. I think it would be a lot easier to talk about my last 6 weeks of training and gear protocol for Rainier. I was keeping track of it on a Google Doc. Some of you might have been following it. Got a little disorganized and pretty fucking busy. Moving across the country a couple times, all within that prep, trying to hold together a new relationship. Just quite a bit of things that aren't conducive to prep, but actually, that's not to make excuses. I actually really enjoyed it because there were just like a lot of challenges that I felt were good demonstrations and good challenges to face that would kind of just make me tougher in the end. Because at the end of the day, it's just a competition. It's just a pro card. You know, it's really not that big of a deal. Relationships and your peace of mind and your job are way more important. So this prep was really fun and also difficult, but in all the fun kind of ways. So I want to go over first. I'm just going to run through the gear protocol that I did, the reasons why, and then I'm going to talk about training a little bit, which sort of meshed together. And then I'm going to do a part 2 where I actually watch all the events with you guys and show you what I did. So, gear protocol starting at 16 weeks out. Per day, 125 milligrams of testosterone enanthate, 60 milligrams a day of equipoise, 40 milligrams a day masteron propionate, and 50 milligrams a day of anavar. 12 to 7 weeks out was the bulk of the cycle. This was, milligram wise, this was the heaviest part. I did this intentionally, and I'll talk about that in training. First, let me list this out. 12 to 7 weeks out, 125 milligrams of test E, 50 milligrams a day of test prop, 60 milligrams a day of EQ, 50 milligrams a day of mast prop, 50 milligrams one time per week of oral anadrol, 20 milligrams per day of trenanenthate. So, let's start with the extremely high test. One, I was trying to hold weight. I'm going to open class. I've been up to 315 pounds before, and my full intent was to get up to 320, 330. So this cycle was actually designed to put on weight. I'm glad I ran this cycle because I think it helped me maintain so much of my strength and performance as I dropped so much body fat. The training I've been doing with Ben for the last year and a half has mostly been bodybuilding focused, with some powerlifting stuff, some strength stuff, but not much reason to get conditioned. And I really like eating. I was really trying to experiment with how far I could push my body weight with, low doses and high food. So I got fat. So when I started doing these sessions, I slimmed down pretty fast because basically how I gauged how hard I should train was I watched my girlfriend Jody train, who's a professional middleweight strongwoman. I saw her sessions. We did 3 to 4 sessions a week that were anywhere from 3 to 5 hours long. I watched how hard she trained and I said, okay, fuck, I am going to train exactly that hard every session until it's time to deload. And it was extremely fucking hard. I threw up 40 to 50% of the sessions. Most of them were in the session. They were at night, actually. Um, I was like so fucked up and sore some nights that I would just throw up. Anyways, um, Trenny, that's the other really new one. Anadrol once a week is pretty self-explanatory. Kind of trying to get something out of it, but save all that good stuff towards the end there. The Trenny, when it comes to Tren, I've experimented with this enough to know, and I'm scared of it enough to know exactly how hard I want to run it, or how long I want to run it, and how hot I want to push it, which isn't very much. So with Tren E, 9 weeks is the sweet spot for me, and then 3 to 4 weeks after coming off, I seem to still maintain all of the benefits. And then with ACE, it's 3 to 4 weeks, and then again another 3 to 4 weeks I'm maintaining most of the benefits. So I wanted to go really low because I really didn't need to get much stronger. I just needed to get a lot better at strongman, a lot better at these events. Dumbbell was really, there was only 2 sessions that I actually PR'd in maximal weight, and that was on dumbbell, which is a lift that is submaximal because of all of the weird technique requirements. Alright, 7 to 5 weeks out, gave my body a little break. 150 milligrams of Test E, 60 milligrams of Mast E, 20 milligrams of Tren E, 60 milligrams of EQ. I did like 40 hours in the car, met the girlfriend's parents, she competed at Clash. That was my I took like 10 full days off training and diet and just tried to relax, because we just hit, 16 to 5 weeks out. That's like, I don't know how to do math right now. That's like a lot of weeks in a row of hardness, so I took a break. 5 to 3 weeks out. This sucked. I didn't like this part. I'm not going to do a cycle like this again. I don't even think it was the cycle. It was just the cycle lined up with literally everything that I had on my plate. It was the second move across the country in this prep. Other family life stressor issues going on. Just a lot of things that were very satisfying to overcome and to go compete and, blah, 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 whatever. But these things still do take a toll, and that was a miserable couple of weeks, and it was not the right time to be running these drugs. So, weeks 5 to 3, 150 milligrams of Test E, 100 milligrams a day of Mast E, 60 milligrams a day of Tren E, 100 milligrams a day of EQ, 100 milligrams a day of Anavar, sometimes 150, 20 milligrams a day of injectable D-ball, which is fucking awesome. Highly recommended. Cut it off at week 3. So, again, talking to Ben, talking to my other coach, it didn't seem that the gear was the issue, but the gear was reacting very poorly because of everything that was going on. Fun little story. One of these rules that I've implemented for myself, as far as how hard to push gear, is a rule that Brandon Lilly gave me, actually. I was fortunate enough to run into him at a local meet a few years back, 5 or 6 years ago, and we smoked a blunt in my car. Saw him in the bathroom and said, "Hey, man, you want to go smoke a blunt?" And he said, "That's kind of weird. that you're talking to me in the bathroom, but sure. That is all true. So we went down to my car in a parking garage and smoked a fat blunt. I asked him. I said, "Look, man, I'm at a little bit of a turning point in my life where, this is kind of when I wanted to start going to Kabuki and starting to get a little bit smarter about this stuff. I was kind of a dumb meathead before that just would take anything because I was fucking angry with the world. I asked him, you were kind of like that back when you were coming up, and then something big changed, and right now what you're telling me is you still want to train, you still want to get stronger. So where is that line for you?" And he said, "I'm gonna push drugs and training as hard as I can until it affects the people I love around me and those relationships, because those are what's most important to me." So, with all this going on, I cut the big doses that I thought might have been affecting me out after week 3. Cut the tren completely, cut the EQ completely, just cut the Anavar completely, which really wouldn't do much, but it just things just add up after a certain amount of time. So weeks 3 to 2, 150 milligrams of test E, 100 milligrams of Masteron E, 40 milligrams of D-ball a day. Weeks 2 to 0, 100 milligrams of Mast Prop, 100 milligrams of Test Prop, 10 milligrams of Halo per day. So that was my last 2 weeks. So it actually kind of tapered down, and aside from all the life stressors and stuff, this was still generally the plan, but I'm a meathead and I have an ego and I like doing drugs. So when I got to that 3-week point, I just wanted to do more drugs, and I was lucky that these things were happening to make me really want to stop doing the drugs. Otherwise, I think I would have ran too much going into the contest. It would have fucked with my cardio. It would have fucked with my ability to stay calm. It would have fucked with my ability to sleep and eat, which was more important at that time. So I want to talk about, I made a short video actually about periodizing drugs with your training before, shortly into prep, probably 15 weeks out. This is one of the main things I want to talk about. So when we're peaking, I ran that trend until I was strong enough. So right at that 4 to 3 week out mark, I hit a checklist of things that Ben and I put together that said, okay, once we can do these things, you're ready for the show, you're going to perform the best you'll be able to, you're as strong as we're going to be able to get you without, going outside of what we're comfortable with on drugs. And the best thing from that point is to pull the drugs back, add the food, add the sleep, because in that amount of time, that strength's not going anywhere. Really, with proper training and diet, no amount of time that strength's going anywhere. So at that point, part of the peaking process is adding restful methods back in and taking some harsher methods back out. So I thought that was a pretty cool way of how that all ended up, and it worked perfectly well. Every single event, I did exactly what I wanted to do. I don't think I could have performed any better. My plan went exactly how I wanted to. I got exactly as much improvement as I intended to get on each event, and it just wasn't enough. So I'm really happy with that. And the next video, we will be going over all the actual events and how they played out in competition. So I'll go over a little bit about the strategy approach on how I trained for each event, and then we'll actually go through, watch each event, talk about it a little bit. It'll be a fun time. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. You can find me on Instagram at Taylor Drawl. I think that's it. Okay, bye. That's Huck Finn's thing. Alright, well, I'm just gonna start putting together the second video. See you guys later. Oh yeah, I do offer coaching. And also, if you guys want to see any more content or have me do anything better or different, let me know. All right, now goodbye.